Hi. Okay, that's me. So, my name's Caroline, I'm from the University of Canberra, and I'm here to talk to you about the impact of 24/7 on journalism. Why? I'm a dinosaur. I'm what's referred to as a dinosaur in the journalism industry. I began my journalism career 30 years ago at the ABC, and it was at the time before the internet broke the business model of journalism, at the time when there were rivers of advertising gold still funded newspapers in the good old days. However, a lot has changed since then. And the impact of the loss of the solid revenue models for journalism means there's been massive job cuts in journalism. In the last 6 years, it's estimated there's around 3,000 journalists in Australia have lost their jobs, and we've seen amalgamations, etc., takeovers, disappearance of Fairfax. So what that means is that there's fewer reporters, but in fact the demand for information, as everyone's referred to here, is just sped up. It's grown exponentially. And we've moved to what we call the hamster wheel of journalism. A guy called Starkman started to characterise journalists as being on the hamster wheel. And for us, the hamster wheel, the other thing we say is we're feeding the beast, this constant beast. It's a beast with an enormous appetite, and you cannot sate the beast. It's a bottomless pit. So we've gone from daily deadlines to constant deadlines, churning out more and more content, and new forms of journalism. So, live blogging. Now, whoever here's a live blogger, you might enjoy live blogging, will feel sorry for the journalist at the other end who hasn't had anything to eat and can't get up to go to the toilet. These are the types of 24-hour and time-driven new forms of journalism that the internet now demands. This bottomless, unsatiable beast, while we're all on the hamster wheel. So being on the hamster wheel means, of course, that journalists are producing more stories, but very often we have less time to think about what we're doing, we have less time to research, and that does mean often that you're chasing clickbait, and for people in commercial models and startups like BuzzFeed and Huffington Post and models that are still trying to find their feet, it means that they're also chasing shallow clicks and they're making more mistakes. So this is a great book if you haven't had a chance to read it, but Catherine Murphy, the political editor of Guardian Australia, she beautifully captured the impact of digital media on journalism in this, and she says, technological disruption has produced a febrile, superficial, shouty, shallow, pugnacious cacophony of content where sensation trumps insight. And it means, and this is also echoed in a recent report by the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism at Oxford University, which my research centre is associated with. And it says that we're in a situation where we need reliable journalism more than ever. But unfortunately we've got increasing content that's less and less robust. And this endless time, I think I've lost a slide there, but anyway. So in this endless demand for content, not only journalists have less time to reflect, but of course the people they're interviewing, like politicians in the case of Catherine Murphy, they also have less time to reflect. And Greg Combay, she interviewed for her book, and he put this really nicely. He says 20 or 30 years ago, issues could be considered more thoroughly. But today, things get easily reported in the media, and you have to react to them. All the circumstances these days mitigate against carefully considered long-term public policy. And of course that has an impact on quality of public and political discourse, and that's a major concern to Catherine and journalism educators like myself. So we're churning out, but there's also concern about burning out. A recent survey of 200 editors in the UK found that nearly three quarters of them were concerned about staff burnout. They're finding it hard to attract and retain staff because of the the fast pace of the relentlessness of the modern newsroom, and the pay rates are low. PR pays much better, always has. And not only that, people are avoiding news. There is a turnout as well as a churn out and a burnout, a tune out, I should say. But it's not all doom and gloom. We should always look on the bright side. Just very quickly, there are positive things about the 24 cycle of information, and Catherine Murphy again, she really phrases this, the bright side, beautifully. Disruption has produced a more dynamic and connected journalism for practitioners who have chosen to adapt to the new environment. There's more ways for journalists to tell stories. There's more audience interaction, feedback and accountability. There's more ways to disseminate information, and you, the audience, has more control. And we have more voices being heard. News is more diverse than ever, and the best journalism in many cases is better than ever. Taking on everyone from the most powerful politicians to the biggest private companies. That's also in the Reuters report, and so that's a good thing for journalism, public discourse and democracy. Thanks.